You're now entering the Luxecore Studios. And you've secured a seat for the Protecting Your Radius podcast. Here, we build connections from your contracting profession to some of the top bleeding edge products and services. Don't get deterred. Let's not delay. Here is your host, Nathan Downs.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Protecting Your Radius podcast. I'm your host, Nathan Downs, and on today's show, as we go into the Fence Show week in Las Vegas, August 23rd through 25th, 2023, we have Kaya and Jim from MIDAMERICA Fence Supply. Kaya, Jim, welcome to the show. How are you all today?
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on. I know I've talked to the man behind the scenes up there a little bit, and I asked him, since we're right now, hours, days, you guys are headed there as we speak to get involved with the Fence Show this week. We want to introduce you guys to all the people that listen and watch this show. I think your all's story is very unique, and it is poised for a specific time here in the industry. And Jim, you said offline earlier, it was really funny, the advent of MIDAMERICA Fence Supply, like why you guys started it. Tell me a little bit about that background so everyone is aware of that.
Well, our fence company, like I said, just before COVID and when COVID hit, we kept getting our material delivered, and half the time you'd get half a truck, or, you'd order a full truck of something, and they weren't making it because half the plants were shut down. They lost people. So you'd get a truck that was half loaded with stuff you needed and some stuff you didn't. And a lot of it, I've literally gotten a few trucks where I couldn't even build a complete fence with it because I didn't have enough material. And that really kind of set us off. And if we were getting that, and that was happening to us, how many other people was it happening to? And that's kind of where this all kind of started. Getting the materials and getting the fence to the smaller guys, the guys that need it.
Right. Yeah. And it's so hard, especially from me being like a young company that's growing. We have to have the material to put it in. And unlike some of the larger companies, like even in my market, so you guys have probably seen this, where we don't have the capital or the space, I don't have the yard space to bring in truckloads of material at a time and inventory and pull down. We're doing job lot quantities as we go along, or multiple jobs at a time. It really does make a challenge, which is why so many young contractors and new contractors move towards using box stores, right, as their supply house. But what do we know about the box stores? The quality of products is inferior often, or the price point really isn't where you should be anyways if you're a contractor, because like you could have worked with a company like a distributor or wholesaler like you guys that would have been more advantageous over time if you would have just been able to understand how to buy and learn that stuff. And that seems to be something that you guys are doing. Kaya, you're doing sales up there. So what does that look like for y'all? Because each one of us as fence contractors listening to this, we know it can be a struggle sometimes. We'll send it off to a wholesaler distributor, and a week later we finally get a price back. What's the MIDAMERICA Fence Supply system gonna be?
It's going to be extremely fast. You give us a call, we're going to get you that quote the same day. As soon as we get off the phone, it's going to be that sales rep's job to put together that quote, email it off to you, and answer any questions you might have, any changes you might need, anything you need to add to it. They're going to be right there ready to help you and get that revised bid, get that payment link over to you to get it scheduled and out for delivery.
Perfect. So for everyone watching, Kaya is like sales front end, Jim's operations, logistics back end. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
It's kind of how you guys have it split up. Okay, cool.
Whenever I need technical help, I go to her.
Yeah, like technical help too, right? Yeah. We had some technical difficulties getting online today, so that's why I said that. It was inside baseball there. One thing, you guys are located in Minnesota, out of the Minneapolis Metroplex, the Twin Cities area. But already, even with the supplying that you've done locally there, regionally, what does the expansion of Mid-America Fence Supply look like? Or what areas are you all going to be reaching out to, able to supply currently? Like, what's that reach?
Yeah, our main focus to start is the Midwestern area because it's been neglected by some of the larger suppliers within the industry. We're going to be there to provide them the materials that they need, offer them new experiences and opportunities to grow and become more efficient. Rather than just supply them with material, we're going to hold their hand throughout the entire process, as little or as much as they want. So we're going to step in for those Midwestern states, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, to name a few.
Nebraska, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And then, Jim, logistics-wise, what does shipping look like out of your area? Are you running local trucks? You're doing hot shots, LTLs, FTLs, all of it? Pretty much all of it.
Pretty much whatever you need. I mean, if you need, a truckload, we're going to send you a truckload, and FTL it. Otherwise, we use a lot of hot shots. We have a couple of our own that we have, and we also have a trucking company that we work with, and we can do full loads, light loads, whatever you need.
Awesome. Yeah. I think as a contractor, that's the most important thing to me. Is my distributor, are they able to get me the product and in a timely manner, right? So do they have the product? Can they get me the product? And then on top of that, like, am I going to get the right product, or am I going to get the right stuff? Because we've gotten shipments many times where it is just not what I thought it was supposed to be, or someone didn't understand or whatever. So I think that's an advantage that you all have, since you've run a huge successful fence company, and you guys are used to it, right? I would say that's a pretty big advantage over some of the other ones.
Yeah, we're very used to it with all aspects of the fence. I mean, it's not like we're just a company that, let's get into the fence industry and figure it out as we go. We've been very successful up here with our fence company, and with a great many crews going out every day, and it's still running now. So we know the ins and outs and the problems that we run into, whether it's customers, whether it's contractors, whatever. We've dealt with pretty much every situation you can come across.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, Patrick, my buddy up there, is a pretty interesting fellow. And he's also a very large visionary. So I felt like he told me years ago that one day this moment was going to happen. He didn't tell me it was going to be called Mid-America Fence Supply. But I knew one day that he was like, his desire was to get to this point, right? So you guys have to have a couple thousand feet of material. I mean, I'm assuming knowing Patrick, you have a couple 100,000 feet of material.
Wow.
What does that look like on the, and you guys are doing iron, vinyl, and chain link. Those are the
black chain link, to be specific.
Black chain link, even better.
4 foot and 5 foot.
Excellent. And then, so what does that look like? Yeah.
Like I told you the story earlier, Pat and I were joking one day, and we figured out we have another place in Apple Valley, which is about 33 miles from here. With our fence materials, we can build a fence there and back. So if that tells you, roughly how much we have for quantity.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen, I know he's shown me pictures before of, hey, check out warehouse 1, warehouse 2, warehouse. I'm like, okay, that's awesome.
We lose track of the warehouses sometimes.
It's incredible. That's incredible. But, again, for everyone watching, like, that's what's really cool about what you guys are doing, is because you don't want to be caught flat-footed like what happened in COVID. To some extent, and then everyone in the United States buys all your material, and here we are, so no. Well, but that would be a good problem to have.
It is, but we're not for everybody either. That being said,
true.
You're not going to come in here and order a 9-foot vinyl post to go get it cemented, because we're not going to have it.
So talk to that, Jim or Kaya. Talk specifically to what are the products and services, because I come in Oklahoma, we still set our posts in concrete and stuff, but I know you guys do it a little bit different. So you have a system, and I think you all even have the tools to bundle this together. So what's that look like for everybody out there?
For over 30 years, Southwest Automated Security has been the premier provider of gate operators, access controls, CCTV, and so much more. Visit southwestautomated.com today, taking dealers to the next level.
Yeah, so being in Minnesota, it's winter for half of the year or more, depending on our spring. So we decided to start driving our posts rather than setting them in concrete with the company that we have. And we want to share that with the rest of the Midwest and the rest of the country, really, because it's such a great experience for an installer and also a homeowner. Provides such a higher level of a product, and we know that these drivers are hard to come by. You might not know which ones are the best to use, so we have everything that you need, from the driver to the pins, different hammer sizes. We've got all of that in stock and waiting to help you become more efficient and to offer this new option for your customers that you might not have ever thought of before.
Right. So a company like mine, where we don't do any driven, no pounding of posts right now, I could literally send you like a whole vinyl order and a whole iron. Are you guys doing steel or aluminum?
Steel.
On the steel. So a whole steel order. And then in turn, you could include the tool, the tooling, everything to make it happen.
Everything from tools to materials, any questions, any help that you might need to help make yourself know what you're doing, to help teach your team how to install, what are the best ways. So not just the tools, but also helping you troubleshoot, in the future.
That's awesome.
And our material is specifically designed for it. All of our, if you are going to install an ornamental fence, generally, if you go to a normal contractor, you're going to buy an 8-foot post. For a 4-foot job, you're going to cut it in half, whatever you have to do if you're going to drive it. Otherwise, you're going to set it. Ours are already pre-cut. We have 54-inch. We have 66-inch for 5-foot sleeve, for the whole process. Same thing with our vinyl. We have 6.5-foot posts. It's for the driven system. We've got the 2 3/8 drive posts and the collars, everything. So, like she said, start to finish, we're basically a driven company.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So MidAmerica Fence Supply, taking every contractor in each job to Pound Town, one job at a time. That's awesome. That's exciting. That doesn't have to be your motto. I just made that up. But
if you don't want to use Pound Town, if you happen to watch the YouTube video of, I think it's Nicki Minaj or something.
Didn't know that was a thing.
YouTube Pound Town once and see what comes up.
I don't know. I should stay off Google and YouTube, putting the words Pound Town. Yeah, let's not do that, Fence family. So Vegas is here. Everyone can go around. They're going to see you. You guys are platinum sponsors at the Fence Show. Is there anything you want people to? You got a special handshake or something, or anything exciting that you want to introduce to everyone?
Just up,
Just say hi.
Just say hi, and if you got questions, feel free to ask, because like you said, we didn't just start doing the driven system last year. We've been driving chain link for like 15 years. And we've incorporated everything else along the way. We've been driving vinyl for at least 6-7 years, the way we've been doing it. Ornamental, same amount of time. We've been doing it for a long time. We've run into just about every problem you can come across. And believe me, there's a lot of them when you first start out, and it's very frustrating, but we're there to answer the questions, because like I said, we've seen most of the problems that are out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge resource, right, Kaya? Like, just to be able to say that, if they call in, if we call in as a contractor and we're asking these things like, oh, I need a 6-foot vinyl fence and it's going to be 200 feet and here's all my parts I need, you can see that, understand what we're asking for, and you will know, there may be things that we miss out there, right? Like that you guys could recommend because you're builders.
Yeah.
I think
having that experience definitely helps. Just being able to understand the terminology, knowing the challenges that you feel or face daily when it comes to customers or just your install team. We know there's going to be questions. In the drive system, it's a newer thing to the market and people are skeptical of it, and that's expected, but we're here, we are a proven company who's been using it for a number of years and are wanting to share that experience because it's made the company that we are today so successful. And we have come up with different ways to become more efficient, and we want to be there to help provide that for other companies, because at the end of the day, better fences being installed only helps out the customer.
Yep. Like Joe Ever says, rising tide raises all ships, which is true. So one thing that everyone has to know is you both have mentioned multiple times that your success in the fence contracting side, that part of the business, which is separate, like that business has had a lot of success. I hear often from a handful of people, but there are enough people that say that some of us that are doing like podcasts like this and stuff, we're younger, smaller companies. Sure. I mean, everybody knows my company is 18 months old. So whatever. It's what it is. Now we're a multi-million-dollar 7-figure company. Sorry, don't sue me. But it's just a fact, right? But you guys in the fence company side, I mean, I want to say I heard you're running like 20 crews, 30 crews, something crazy. Is that true? Can we say that?
We have 20 plus crews that go out every
20 plus yes. crews. So you're not a $2-3 million fence company. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, no. We are.
Okay. Much larger than that, Nathan. No, that's fair. That's fair because that matters, because there are people, like I said, that are watching this, that are wondering, like, does it really work? Has someone really had success? Has someone scaled it? And you've proven that you can, and you have. And Jim, you've been in the operations side of that for so many years, right? Like, so it's just that credibility matters, especially for those of us buying from groups, because you guys are just entering into the market in a different way than other people have done it.
Yeah. Good response.
Yeah. No. Because Jim, I was thinking, you said offline earlier, so I'll go back to that. You had mentioned something in regards to, and Kaya, you went through it again, but just talking about the experiences that you've had and how that really differentiates what MidAmerica Fence Supply is all about.
Well, like I said, there's not a lot out there for the drive guys, the guys that just want the driven system. And, there's a lot of guys out there too that aren't near a big fence contractor where they can go and buy their materials, So you're, like you said, you're stuck with Home Depot or, the other name brands, whatever. And we wanted to be able to provide the service for those smaller guys, get them the materials, doesn't matter the size. We want to be able to branch out so that they're not, having to drive 2 hours just to go get material, and then all of a sudden they get home and they're like, man, a mission attention ban. It's just simple things like that. We want to make sure, if for some reason you didn't get something, then I'm going to overnight it and make sure you get it. That kind of thing. Want to be more full service, I guess, than just drive your truck up, we load it, and say goodbye.
Right. And an important part, again, something that I found out from you guys is you even, because of the fence company side, you guys do some different stuff. Like not just the pounding the posts in and all that stuff. I even thought, if I remember correctly, I wanted to say that I heard you guys kit different parts of your like chain link and ornamental and stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, so we actually, especially over the summertime, employ some young kids, and they sit in a room and they put together our fitting kits. So they'll group together all the tension bands, brace bands, rail ends, all the fittings that you need for your corners and your ends for your chain link. They put that in a nice little bag. So when your guys are pulling the material, when they're out there at the job site, need to lay everything out, rather than grabbing these pieces individually, they just grab the bag, drop it down, and you know exactly what's in it. You're never missing anything. You're never, got a couple screws that are gone. You forgot something back at the warehouse, because everything is in that prepackaged kit. It's going to be there. It's a for sure guaranteed thing.
Yeah. So you set it up like terminal, like an end post, a corner post, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Very cool.
Stuff's corners, ends, and lines, sections. That's how we go off of everything. And, the kits are all right there. And, Pat came up with the idea a few years ago, and I hated it, to be honest. I thought it was just a terrible idea. It's never going to work. And then all of a sudden, he said, we'll just make some. So we made a bunch, and we gave them to our guys, and they're like, oh, we love this. This is so much easier. So it was like, well, okay, I guess he wins.
Well, and as you say that, I'm sitting here thinking, how much easier would it be for me to buy my product? Like I say, I need 200 feet of 4-foot fence on this job. I need 800 feet on this job. I've got eight end posts and 4 corners here, and this one I have 13 corners and 5 end posts or something like that.
It makes ordering so much easier, makes writing up the bid extremely fast. That's why we're able to get it to you so quickly, partly. And it's just easier for you ordering, just knowing this is exactly how many posts I need. I know what's in a kit. I know I'm going to get that amount.
Well, that's awesome. Oh, I'm super excited to see what you guys are doing. I know I've talked to Pat already about trying to work out some stuff. We want to get a couple orders in, buy some of the tooling from you guys, get some videos of us that don't know anything about pounding jobs in. I think that would be pretty cool. We'll drive it in. We'll try it. Pat twisted my arm. He said, I got to try it. So I'm like, hey, let's go. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And it's a unique opportunity, which you guys are bringing to the marketplace. Is definitely unique, and I'm excited to see how it grows and stuff. Is there anything, again, we're rolling to Vegas right now. Is there anything that you guys want to leave all the listeners and watchers with? You're excited to sell some things.
We are extremely excited. We've got hundreds of feet waiting, ready for you.
Yes. Tens of thousands of feet, actually. I've freaking seen the pictures. I'm going to have Pat, I'll be like, send me a picture so I can put it on the video. So like, as we're talking, it'll like float over our heads or something. Like, oh my gosh. I've seen it. That's why I know, and I haven't personally seen it, but I've seen the pictures where I'm going, this is not normal. But I like that. I think that's fun. I think you guys have a great team. Both of you are super sharp, and you guys already have done awesome things in your own businesses. So I'm excited to see where the supply side takes this and how you guys grow with it. And for anybody watching, as you see Kaya and Jim out there at the fence show, holler at them, give them a high five, ask questions about any of this stuff. I know the next time we're all together, I've got a million questions because, I talk about this on the podcast all the time. We have an environment where every type of soil condition or rock is within 10 miles of my shop. That is not common across the United States, but that is where I'm at in Oklahoma. I've got it all. Which is exciting because I've got to figure out where can we drive posts? Where can't we drive posts? How do we do it here? How do we do it? And there's a lot of questions I have, and I'm sure more. So maybe Jim, that might even be an opportunity for you guys to come back and talk about driving things and give some pointers, or Kai, if you want to too. We could definitely talk about doing that down the road. And if that interests you guys that are watching this and listening right now, send us an email. Let me know, info@protectingyourradius.com. As always, if you have any questions. And Kaya, Jim, again, thank you so much for joining me today. MidAmerica Fence Supply is here, platinum sponsor at the Fence Show. Check them out. Continue to look at. Do you guys have a website already? What is that website?
Yeah, MidAmericaFenceSupply.com.
MidAmericaFenceSupply.com. There you go. So perfect. Appreciate you guys being on today, as always.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Sounds good. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Protecting Your Radius podcast from the Luxecore Studios in Bixby, Oklahoma. Thanks for sticking around, and connect with us and all of our partners at www.protectingyourradius.com. We want to thank our premier partners. Luxecore, the newest line of premium quality composite infill to slide into your FenceTrac fence system. Frame your style today. Also, FenceTrac, the world's first patented standalone stain machine. Utilizing flood coat technology, FenceTrac covers boards, pickets, posts, and any type of dimensional wood you can think of. And what better way to use your FenceTrac machine than to use the easy application Wood Defender family of stains. Wood Defender goes on easy and covers in one coat with no back brushing. And of course, the true power of our show is you, the listener. Please rate and review our show on whatever platform you consume this content. Your 5-star likes and reviews help other contractors get the message that we all want to be better and do better. And in the construction world, we can never forget that before you can be great, you've got to be good. Before you can be good, you've got to be bad. But before you can even be bad, you've got to try.